And every single piece of currency has "In God We Trust." We are a nation without an official religion. We were created so that we can be here for religious autonomy. Yet every piece of currency I use as an atheist proudly displays "In God We Trust" on it. How fair is that?
I chose it when I was younger because of my bad experiences with the Roman Catholic. I wasn't always Jewish. I was born and raised Roman Catholic.
I don't really have a religion. I just know that I believe in God and I should be serving Him and Him only. Religion to me is not important. That's not important to me. What's important to me is that I'm supposed to be serving God and doing His work.
I've been an atheist for over 20 years now, I'd say. I probably stopped going to church when I was 8 years old by choice.
When I was younger, I was Catholic because my parents told me I was Catholic. But since when I grew up, I realized that I did not believe in the Catholic faith.
I had a bad experience in the Roman Catholic church. I was baptized, communion, confirmation, penance, but I won't go into details because that's how bothered I am by what I experienced, but it was not a good one.
I was raised Catholic, not very strictly, but I'm an Italian household, and Catholicism is a big part of Italian heritage. Around 8, I started seeing a lot of holes and flaws in the mythos that I was being preached at during our Wednesday schooling that you're forced to go to when you're a Catholic. And then it gets reinterpreted on Sundays by someone in front of a mass of people that are repeating words that have no meaning to them. Begin to dissect and learn and also not believe. It was hard though, because I was 8 years old. I was a Cub Scout, and we met in my local church. So my parents said, well, if you're going to quit religion, you're also quitting Boy Scouts. And I did. I couldn't deal with the hypocrisy of doing both, so my choice was clear. I was not a Catholic or a Christian or a believer in a, guy pulling strings in the sky, so I quit and have been an atheist since.
I switched because after reading the Bible and reading God's words, a lot of the Catholic faith didn't coincide with what the Bible says.
My brother and I had the same experience. He became atheist. And I decided at a young age to choose another religion because I still wanted, if I had a family that have some sort of faith to look forward to. I think that's very important, religion, for morals and ethics.
I feel that people of different religions can have conversations without it divulging into debate.
You should try to educate people and try to teach them. But if they really don't want to hear, they can just step away from it.
Obviously, something happened, but it was seen from different perspectives, just as politics is, and therefore it was written in different forms and ways. So my belief is that something did happen. There is a higher being. There is a God, but if we choose to, worship that God in different ways, then we should all be able to do that and not be critiqued on it.
Have a conversation and it's very open. You get to discuss the reasons why on both sides when both people are really listening. I don't mind having to discuss or defend my religious choice. When someone's actually curious as to why someone believes something, that's a conversation we're willing to have. When someone thinks that you're wrong or they're trying to save you from burning in the pits of hell, those conversations don't always end as well.
I'm no one to actually tell someone that they're wrong for not believing in an afterlife or a higher being. It's a personal choice. It's not something that is right or wrong. It's individualized and it's personal.
There's a lot of common ground between many majority religions, but you don't have that religion. When you're an atheist, you come off often as elitist or pretentious, and it's hard to have that conversation and with someone trying to have the higher ground. When I simply think that everything you believe is bunk and been spoon-fed to you and it's all, silly, it's kind of hard to come off as a serious part of the conversation.
I do not look down on others. That's not my calling. That's for the Creator to do that. I mean, He doesn't look down on them either, but you have to get that calling. That has to come from you. No one can force anyone into anything they don't want to be forced, they don't want to get into. That has to be coming from you. You have to bring yourself to the Creator. You have to believe. You have to have your own beliefs.
My belief is that not one religion is the right religion. It's the right religion for that individual if that's what makes you happy and you believe in it. And your faith is in that. The other thing is that you can't push people to believe that one religion is the right way.
I feel like it's 2011 now, and we have all this science around us, and people defer to an ancient religion based, well, let's say 2,000 years ago or more, and we ignore everything we've learned since just so that we can keep up this ancient philosophy, well, or mythology, which as I would use.
I'm scared about being atheist. My brother may have chosen to be atheist. My concern was raising a family, and I still, even though I had a bad experience with the Roman Catholic Church, I still believe that faith is important in the upbringing of our children. They have to believe in some sort of faith or focus as to what you need to, how to get back on track. You know, it's just good to have faith in general. I don't knock anyone who is atheist. I mean, you can't, you know, he believes scientifically. You know, he believes maybe it's a higher being or a UFO or another type of being, but not, you know, not in a religious way.
Yeah, I would love society to swing to my frame of existence, but I don't see it happening soon. We just reaffirmed that in God we trust is the national motto of America. And it wasn't even up for debate. It was they just decided to reaffirm it, that we are a God-fearing country. A term that we've only used since the 50s to try and make ourselves better than the communists. So, you know, things aren't moving too swiftly, but I'd like them to.
We should believe in science to an extent. To an extent. The stars, the moon, and the sky, that's not science. God created that. That's a higher being created that. And us. When you look at us, when you look at human being, you have to believe that it has to be a creator. And people don't usually believe that there's God. You know why they don't believe that there's a creator? Because they can't see. People only believe what they can see. We have the air, but we can't see the air. We can't see the air, but the air is there. So who did that? We have the moon, we have the sky, we have the whole universe. We have all this land and all these sea, the ocean. Who created that? Was that science? No, that was the creator. So that's what I have to say. That's why I believe in the creator, Jehovah. I believe in him.
Wake up in the morning and you see the sunrise. You go to sleep and you see the moon. So we didn't know what these things were. There's a giant fire in the sky. There's moon up in the sky. We didn't know about bodies and space and the solar system. So what did? We made gods around them. We made stories. We explain it to our children and their children and so on. And these stories go into mythology and legend, and that's what happens. Religion's super important. It's a placeholder for science. And that's fine.
I don't think that's fair to make someone choose between religion and science, because I like to read about evolution and learn about, you know, how we started or how we came from, and I try not to have that interfere with my religious beliefs. So if I had to be given a choice, I wouldn't want to choose either or. I think if individuals would look at religion as a personal choice and not be so upset at others' decisions or choices, and be more open-minded to others' religions and be respectful of what others' beliefs are, I think that we'd have less arguments and less of what's going on in today's world. We'd have a lot less wars and more peace and probably tranquility and understanding. And as a whole, I think people would be a lot happier if we just learn that the main thing is to respect one another, whether it be nationality, culture, religion, politics. It's respecting the other person and their beliefs.